Alright, so this is gonna be part five. Um, Again, like I said, I'm gonna condense these eventually. Try to do that sooner rather than later, for everyone's convenience. I'll leave the long versions up too. Excuse me. So, in part four, I talked about the first part of mentality, which is silence, the importance of silence, and what it does for you, your mindset. Another part about mindset that I want to talk about is, and silence will help you develop this, um, is paying attention to your senses and your instinct over knowledge. So, what I mean by that should be obvious what I mean by that, but I'll explain it. So, you got your senses, you got, touch, taste, hearing, seeing, smelling. So, the survival situation, whether you're the captive or on the run or stranded or whatever it is, before you before you even start thinking, get a good sense of everything, And if you're sensory impaired, wear glasses. Me, I'm half deaf. You got other stuff going on. Then, just do your best. Work with what you got. Not everyone's dealt a perfect hand in life. You can't expect to always have the best in any situation. It's about working with what you have to survive. So, you've been kidnapped, or arrested by some foreign police force, and you don't trust them, or domestic police force, and you don't trust them because they're corrupt or whatever. Or whatever it is. I don't care. Maybe you're corrupt. So, you want to, your mind's going to want to start thinking about ways to get out of this and what you can do, and trying to recall information on things you can do. You don't want to do that. As soon as you notice that coming on, you want to cut that out immediately. And what you want to do, just take a deep breath, listen, look around, feel what's going on with your body, feel how your muscles feel, how your health feels. Just take good stock of everything when you're in a survival situation. You should be doing this at all times. But I know a lot of people, especially if you have a higher IQ, you can get kind of caught up in the cerebral aspect of things. You don't want to do that, especially in a survival situation. It's fine to do that in a situation where things are a little bit less dire, less dangerous. Life is always dangerous, but you know what I mean? There's levels to things. So what you want to do is you just want to take time to listen to what your flesh is telling you, what your nervous system is telling you. And the more time you spend doing that, you notice there's a part of the brain that doesn't require conscious, active gears turning, The gears they'll start turning on their own when this part of the brain is activated. This is the subconscious mind. Once you start feeding your brain all this sensory information and just kind of shutting off that, what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, or the flea mind, jumps from things to thing, and is always thinking of something. once you just kind of let that, rest, Zen. It was like saying, float your consciousness above your head. It's like carrying a balloon around, or, you know, there's all kind of metaphors for it. But I find Buddhism being like a contemplative philosophy. I'm not Buddhist, but I'm saying that's where I got a lot of this information from, this method anyway. So you just want to, once you take in everything and your brain starts passively processing all that information, your intuition will come online. And some people that got strong intuition, and when it happens, it's always on. They're always getting messages, Sometimes it's a literal voice talking to them, like me. I'm schizophrenic, so I hear a voice, and sometimes multiple voices that talk to me and tell me things. They tell me things to do and how to proceed in certain situations. Sometimes I don't trust that voice. Other times I do. The voice itself, I don't consider like a god or anything like that. I just consider it a more of a friend. Sometimes an enemy too. It's an entity, really, and it's an entity that is part of my mind, like another person almost within me. And I think most people do have that, probably not to the extent that someone with schizophrenia would, but the intuition, everyone has that, and it can give you messages. Most people aren't as dialed into intuitions as someone with something like schizophrenia, or someone who was like a genuine psychic. So, and I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but these videos aren't about, these videos aren't about like debating that whole argument. That's not what I'm here for. I'm saying there are people who know things like that without processing, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is because they're dialed into the way science explains it in philosophy is dialed into the subconscious mind. So part of this mentality, essentially what I'm trying to tell you, is you got to feed your subconscious mind, get the motor running of the subconscious by shutting off the conscious mind. Not so much shutting it off, but stop using it so much, and just kind of listen, look, feel, smell the air, what's going on with the air. Scent can tell you a lot, quite a lot. A lot of people, don't think of humans. They think more of like predatory animals as using the nose. And human sense of smell is underdeveloped in a lot of people, and it's mostly because of environmental harshness and all kinds of different factors. But some people, they do have a stronger sense of smell than others, and the nose can tell you a lot. It is debatably the oldest sense of all of them. So hearing and sight are somewhat newer senses as far as the evolutionary brain, but the olfactory sense is really old, and it can tell you a lot of things. If you're trying to escape a place, just smelling the air, especially when there's some breeze coming in, you can smell what's coming from where that breeze is coming from, and you can get a sense of what's over there before you can even see it over the horizon. And if you're in a situation where you're with someone, pheromones that come off a person, you can smell what a person's really feeling or what they're intending. Just clear your nose, press your tongue against the front teeth and the roof of your mouth, and just take a good appraisal of what's in the air. And you can learn a lot. And I'm not going to go into too much detail there because that should be open-ended. You know, listen to your senses and your intuition. All right, that's the end of this video.